right, good morning. And today, last night, the market crashed. Here we are in a market crash, okay? Uh, right now, it's not down as much as it was. The S&P is down around, well, the SPY is down around $12. It was down as much as $20. The VIX spiked up to 55, and that's why I'm late with my live stream today. I usually do it at 7:15 a.m., but I'm doing it at a little bit different time. Had some unwinding to do in some of my larger accounts. Okay, so let's move forward. And let's say here, welcome to the Real P&L Trade Show, where I share my Real P&L on 3 accounts and share my proprietary Safe Wheel trade for free. All right, make sure you guys can hear me okay. Let me know. Audio is good. Thank you, Will. Appreciate that. Be sure to post any questions that you have before I get to the end of the broadcast here. Now, let's talk about the earnings edge. What happened with the earnings edge? Well, first, let's look at the net lick, 10,342. Okay, so last week I traded CAT and I made $425. Let's take a look at this. $426. And my average win is 704, average loss 579. And let's see, so what is my net lick? Let's move this over here so I can put it into the spreadsheet. 10,342, so I'll put that in there. 10,342, and let's take a look at what is SPY trading. I'm looking at it here, 520.50, let's call it 520.5, down. Okay, the earnings edge is actually catching up to the S&P. The S&P is only up, well, you know, it was up pretty good earlier. Now it's only down up 9.5%. 9.5% is still pretty good. But you can see how the earnings edges did in 2020, 2023, and you can see the earnings edge overall is up 106% since I started trading it on YouTube here in 2022, January. And the S&P is up 9.59 since January. Wow, so that's a pretty big hit. Only up 10% over the last 2.5 years, just 10% for the S&P. Okay, let's talk about the PL5. What's going on with the PL5? Actually, yes, let's talk about the PL5. So my PL5 is an IB. I'm going to refresh this. If I show the whole screen, it shows my account number, so I don't want to show that. Okay, so I have 28,293 in the account. Started with 30,000. 28,293. Let's put that in the spreadsheet here so I can track it. 28,293. Now, when I got into with $30,000, I got into the market. Of course, I got in and I went long right at the peak, and it was trading at 563.28. And now it's trading at 520. Let me fix this. This is F22 equals F22. Okay. So since the peak, because that's the day I got in on July 16th, the market's down 7.59%. The PL5 is only down 5.69. Again, this is specifically designed to outperform the S&P. So it is going to be, so it's going to have some volatility like the S&P has. So the volatility with the PL5 Pro, this particular variant called the PL5 Pro S&P variant, is designed only to outperform the S&P. So if the S&P goes down, it's also going to go down, but it's going to outperform. Here you can see it's already outperforming by 2%, and it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm strictly going to outperform here. Also, it's going to draw down, right? This account's got way more volatility than the regular PL5 Pro. So I'm just trying to be as clear as I can about that. In fact, I shouldn't even call this the PL5 Pro. It should be also the S&P 500 variant. Okay. Oops. Okay. Because it's a very specific variant. And I want you guys to know that it can draw down with the S&P. Now, the way that I trade it in my other accounts, I'm not, it's not the S&P variant, okay? It's the PL5 Pro by itself, all right? That's different. So I'm trading it in a couple different ways, but this particular way I wanted to trade with the market. You can see it's outperforming the market. Okay, so there is the premium to near level 5. By the way, this particular account right here had hit a win last night. So when the market started crashing, this one of my tranches hit profit. So this particular crash was very good for the PL5. Um, in fact, I closed out around $35,000 in profit with the PL5 today. Not the Pro variant, not the 500 variant, like in my other accounts. Okay? So this crash was really good for the PL5 Pro, and things are looking really good for the future PL5 Pro. Because typically, when you're coming down off of a crash, you're coming down off of VIX 55, making your way back down. The PL5 does really well. PL5 Pro does really well. Okay, so now let's talk about the safe wheel. So into that account. First of all, let's look at the wheel. This account here. Yeah, 63.27. How's the safe wheel doing in this crash? 63. So it was down 1% last week, 63.27. Now it's down 1.34 year to date. But you can see that it didn't move at all during this crash. The safe wheel stayed safe, right? I'm not even down 0.5% or anything, and the market has taken a really good dive. The safe wheel is just holding in strong. And that's what it's designed to do, right? And you can see the numbers since 2022 January, up 26.5% versus the S&P only up 9.6% since January of 2022. So the safe wheel is vastly outperforming, only about half the drawdowns too. You can see the drawdowns are just, there's no drawdowns going on. Let's go into that safe wheel account. You can see here my P&L day, I'm up $8. So I'm not getting the effect of the, the market down 4 or 5% or whatever it's been down. Let's see what it's been down. I'm interested in that. See if I can pull up that chart. So the market from the high down almost 10%. Wow, big down move. And the safe wheel, I mean, I don't even know if we're down. We might be a break even over that last week, maybe down $100. I mean, down 2% or 1% or something. Nothing close to 10%. So what's going on here? What do I do? What am I going to do this week? I have this long put. This is my hedge. The first thing I ask is, am I long 200 shares? The answer is no. So if I was, I'd have another question about this this put hedge. But because I'm not long 200 shares, that question doesn't apply. So now I'm long 3. Is this under 100 days? No. Okay, that's good. Is this $21 put within 70% of 24.75? Yes, I know it is. I can run the numbers, but I know it's within 21 is within 75% of 24.75. Okay, so it's good there. I can do the calculations, but I already know it's good. So nothing to do here. This I purchased Fridays. I just spent about $5 on it. This is a long call just to protect these put hedges. Okay, so now I've got my hedges in place. Let's take a look at the traditional wheel at this point. I'm long 100 shares. My price that I got in at was $26.50. So I'm going to try to sell a call against $26.50 in the near. So let's take a look and see if I can do that. I might not be able to. So in this expiration cycle, expiring today's Monday, expiring on Friday, on the calls, can I go $26.50? No, there's not enough premium. Not enough premium. I cannot sell. So I'm going to add to my position. I'm going to add another tranche. I'll only add 2 tranches maximum. I won't add 3. So this will be the most I'll add. Now, how am I going to add that tranche? I'm going to sell a put. Where am I going to sell the put? Well, I want to go out of the money, and I want to get at least, well, this strike is $24.50, so I want to get at least 24 cents. I could go to the 24 and collect here. Typically, I like to go as far out as I can, and then so I could go here and then one back. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 24.50. I'm going to sell this 24.50. And I'm just going to do one because the sizing calls for one. And I want to get the mid price here is 40 cents. So I might be able to get this. So I'm going to sell a 24.50 put. It expires at the end of the week. And I might end up with 200 shares. And I might not. If not, I'll just keep the premium. Let's move that. See if I can get it filled. Okay, so I got filled there at 39 cents or $39. So my goal is to always collect premium every week. And I need to hedge in a certain way where I'm just always collecting premium. Okay, so that is the safe wheel. That is all the trading that I need to do for the safe wheel. Pretty simple. Let's see if there's any questions or comments in here. Will says, I do good. Looks like it will be few people because of the late start. Yeah, probably be less people in here today because I'm not on my regular time. Hopefully your accounts are good, Carl. Lucky for you. Your systems are well designed for this. Absolutely. The duck trade, it's drawing down some. I have to say that. But I didn't really close anything out. But yeah, I have some unrealized losses in that. Let's see, Carl, I'm still worried that your glasses reflection may someday dox important private information on your screen. Not sure what solution. I don't really have a good solution for that. If I didn't have to wear glasses, that would be the solution, but I do. So, thanks. Too bad we didn't hold CAT until Friday. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately. So I made, what, $425? Heck, I could have made, I don't know, $2,000 or something. We almost caught the crash. But I didn't quite catch it with the earnings edge. Polarized lenses, screen brightness, positioning, matte screen. Matte screen might be the answer. The matte screen might be the answer. But right now, I'm not really reflecting anything on the screen that you would reflect that I don't want anyone to see. So I'm not really worried about it. How would the original PL5 fare in today's market? Would it have done great? Yes. The original PL5 and the PL5 Pro are almost identical. And the PL5 Pro and the PL5 are trading exactly the same today. So it would be the exact same results. Nina, would you recommend EE for this week with extremely high volatility? No, I would not recommend the EE this week with this volatility. A lot of times the volatility is going to contract, and that is not good for the earnings edge. So I'm not going to put anything on this week. If this turns into a larger crash and you do very well, as bad as it will be for everyone else, it may be good for business with proof of concept for many of your systems. Yeah, absolutely. When the PL5, it's been not doing as well, then I turned it into PL5 Pro, which is a better version. But the PL5 Pro will take advantage of this situation the same as the PL5. So yeah, it's great. The PL5 is looking really good. Like I said, I booked like $35,000 in profits today. Fantastic. Nina, can you discuss how the PL5 does if volatility drops, but the market goes back up? It will do very well. That's why I have some rules when the VIX is at certain levels to where I increase my profit targets, because there's way more opportunity when the volatility is high and contracting when you're trading the PL5. Now, the PL5 I had a couple PL5s open, obviously, and they closed out this morning at very nice profits. So I kind of caught it both ways, right? So we go into the crash, the PL5 makes money. Now I'm going to put on a PL5 with the vol hopefully contracting and make money. And that's the way it works. But yes, the vol contracting is an excellent time to be trading the PL5 and the PL5 Pro, which is basically almost the same thing. Just a little tweak in these grind up markets, but we're no longer in a grind up market. So the PL5 Pro tweak is not being applied right now. With your original criteria for closing EE trades, would you have stayed in CAT till Friday? Yes, I would have. Yes, I would have, and I would have made a lot more money. I like the exit rules that I have. I'm okay with those. They're more conservative. But yeah, if I were to stay with my old rules, I would have made a killing. Nina, good job on your profits today. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate it. And Nina, you really help out. You're really in the community. You do a lot for the community because you you understand a lot of stuff. Like you know what's going on. Will, I know you don't like future telling, but do you think we've hit the ground with September interest rates dropping, helping out? I think so. I mean, I think the end of today is going to tell us because, whenever the market comes in at the end of the day, the last, hour, half an hour, will kind of tell you what kind of day was today, right? Right now, it looks like it was a crash over last night and then in the open because the VIX was at 55. And then now the vol is contracting significantly. If it continues to contract, could be a good indication that you saw the low and that, I don't really want to say I saw the low in terms of nominal pricing of the SPY. That's the way I track it. I want to say that I saw the high of the VIX at 55, and we probably won't see that again for a while. That's my thought process, depending on what happens at the end of the day today. If the VIX doesn't, pop up again at the end of the day today, I say there's a high probability that the volatility VIX height hit its peak for a while, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't predict these things. I just try to put trade plans together that can make money in all environments. And I'm totally prepared for this environment. So, I mean, you can see that by my accounts that I'm trading. So you can kind of see that already. At one point, Friday CAT doubled. Doubled as far as, I don't know what it started from, but it's probably would have, instead of making $400, I probably would have made 1,200 or 2,000. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. Once I'm out of a trade, I just kind of, it's in the back. It's in the rear view mirror. Nina, thanks. Carl, you have a great community. I appreciate that, Nina. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any more questions, comments. I appreciate you guys coming in a little later than normal. But when the market crashes, there's a lot of things to do sometimes. And I had to do some unwinding and some adjustments. And I had to make that a priority. Nina, I put in some money into the PL5 this morning when the VIX was very high. Was going to put in more than the recommended amount for the trade, but got scared and stuck to the rules. Yeah, I would stick to the rules too. But yeah, you probably would have been okay. Remember the rules, and you don't have to put on as much because you're going to potentially make more profit with a smaller trade, right? So yeah. Okay. No more questions or comments. What I like to say in parting: if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I'll be back next week.